Good morning, USA. Welcome to another episode of the Bernie or Bust show. Have some coffee, have some organic cranberry walnut trail mix. That's the newest thing. And join me in some conversation about how social media is making it more difficult to get the word out if the word is something they don't like. Let me go to this article in BuzzFeed. Elizabeth Warren's campaign turned to a big donor to pay for the DNC voter database despite her fundraising pledge. So what we have here from Elizabeth is blatant hypocrisy. Now, let's say you were a well-meaning citizen who wanted to engage with other voters in good faith on a social media platform such as Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. And let's say that in doing so, as you used your Twitter feed and you used your ability to message people or to tweet to their tweets about this hypocrisy and found yourself suddenly with your account suspended, as Tulsi Gabbard's sister did recently, what you'll notice is because Twitter is funded and Facebook, they're in bed with the same plutocrats that fund MSNBC and Fox News. What you'll find is that if you say something that goes against what they want you to say, you'll end up not being able to say it. You can still say it, but you can't say it in such a widespread way as you used to be able to say things on social media. For example, if you tweet directly to Elizabeth Warren's campaign that they should stop being hypocrites, you'll get suspended. I know this for a fact. And if you tweet to other people, like using a hashtag, Bernie or Bust, you go to other people who have made that either to support Bernie or Bust or to argue against it. If you go down that hashtag and start tweeting to people, more than a few, you'll end up in suspended animation. You'll end up in the Twitter nether regions. Facebook has similar problems. I'm kind of over Twitter. I don't know how to do anything other than just post pictures of puppies or kitties at this point on Twitter. But Facebook, I still have some ideas about how we can engage people in conversation about their candidates. The other point I want to get to is that when you're discussing with long-term Democrats, the idea that their issues and their support for issues isn't good enough anymore. For example, a friend of mine on Facebook this morning was mad because I was pointing out that long-term Democrats are just as bigoted as long-term Republicans. And that's the last thing they want you to say. They'll say, well, we may be somewhat bigoted, but we're not nearly as bigoted as those other guys, those other thugs in the other party. When it comes right down to it, we've been enabling each other. Both parties have been enabling each other in dire, revolting horror, and we've been doing it a long time. It's good cop, bad cop. It's controlled opposition. So expressing support for candidates who take big money it doesn't matter what those candidates say. If they're taking money from hedge fund managers and Wall Street in general, they're not answering to those issues. They're not really coming out in favor of those issues because their masters don't want them to. I've said similar things in past episodes, so I'll get right to what I want you to do about it. If you agree with me that it isn't enough just to pay lip service to these issues, we need to elect politicians who will actually stand up to the big money interests. I would say, on Facebook at least, the best thing you can do is find this page, Revolt Against Plutocracy rap sheet, there's a page that you can like, and there's a group that you can join. This group here, Revolt Against Plutocracy rap sheet, if you go there and join it, you'll have access to files over here on the side, files, a list of media, a list of Bernie or Bust show episodes, tweets if your account doesn't get suspended, and then various Facebook groups. All 5 of these sheets are full of Facebook groups. If you go there, let's say you go to sheet 1, Bernie or Bust is a group called Bernie or Bust, but it doesn't actually want people to do Bernie or Bust pledge. So if you want people to take the Bernie or Bust pledge, and you want to go on all these groups and tell them, take the Bernie or Bust pledge, and then you link to the pledge, you'll end up in Facebook jail, especially if you go to too many in one day. So you're going down this group. If you're here with me, you'll see a P. That just means that I haven't gotten into it yet. It's pending, and some of these don't seem to be. They've seemed to be stagnant. It doesn't. I'm not sure if they even still let people into some of these groups. But if it has a 1 by it, it means I've gotten in there and posted something regarding Bernie or Bust. If I've already managed to post a link to the pledge page, the Bernie or Bust pledge, if you go in there and you post that link, it will be redundant. But what you could do instead is bump a post. So let's say you go in, just pick one here. New Yorkers, no, let's try. Gotta keep, no, that's pending. Vermont for Bernie Sanders. All right, we're going to go there. Vermont for Bernie Sanders. Click that. And then you can go to search this group. And if you go there, if you type in my name, Howell, you'll see a list of things that I've either commented on or posted. And if you wanted to bump one of these, here's a pledge right here. If you wanted to bump this to the top without posting yourself, you click on it, and then you see that it has 1 comment. Click on that, there's a comment. So I've already bumped this, but let's bump it again. Let's just go here and we'll put, let's see. Let's put something related to the book. I have a JPEG file. Somewhere on here. There it is. So I'll go to that file and I'll post it as a comment. And so instead of posting a link, which will get me thrown in jail again, I've posted a JPEG, and so far that doesn't seem to get people in trouble. So now this post, if I escape and go back to the group, Bernie's Vermont Grassroots Family, that if it doesn't have an announcement at the top, it does. Announcement at the top, okay. Under the announcements, there is the pledge right there at the top of the group for anyone who comes in. And so it's as good as posting it yourself. And it has a link to the Bernie or Bust pledge, and it has a JPEG of the Bernie or Bust Pioneers of Electoral Revolt book. There's a new book also that we're promoting. It's one I hadn't heard of until yesterday, and I'm going to put that in the comments or in the information section below this video. So that I'm going to be plugging. It sounds like I'm going to be plugging a couple of books now. Well, the reason we need books and not just sound bites is because some of these issues are pretty dense, and you need to be informed to know how to frame your arguments. It's obvious that one or two people going in and tweeting or Facebook posting or YouTubing isn't going to have the impact that an army of Bernie or Busters will. So I'm appealing to you to go back through all of these posts in all of these Facebook groups. There are 5 pages of them. Sheet 1, Sheet 2, Sheet 3, Sheet 4, and book promotion Facebook groups. In all of those groups, you can have a significant impact just by bumping the links that are already there. And these links don't all go to the same place. So hopefully you'll be able to find the links to the Bernie or Bust pledge. We are attempting to get to 50,000 Bernie or Bust pledgers, and we think that this will help our diehard Dem friends to understand that this isn't anything they can wave away and ignore. If there are that many Bernie Sanders supporters who have pledged to vote for Bernie or Tulsi Gabbard and no one else, at least no one else has shown up on the horizon yet, that will make it very clear that we will accept no corporate imitations. We will accept no one who just says the right things but is still funded by big money. As always, unshaved, unbathed, unscripted, and unedited, and keep on burning.